When Columbus sailed these waters in 1498, he still believed the islands he'd found on his 2 previous voyages were off the coast of Asia. This trip, his goal was mainland Asia itself, and the gold it promised.
On his 3rd voyage, Columbus followed the trades much further south. In fact, he went as far south as the latitude of Guinea in Africa. He felt certain that the closer he got to the equator, the better chance he had of finding lots of gold. After all, the Portuguese had found plenty of gold in Guinea. Also, his view of the world was beginning to come together, and he knew where he was.
He knew where he was, despite being in totally unfamiliar waters. After taking his usual route to the Cape Verde Islands, he'd struck southwest, seeking the parallel of Guinea, the latitude gold could be found. After 3 weeks sailing, his instincts told him he'd reached the Indies, and he turned north. On July 31st, 1498, 3 hills appeared on the horizon. The admiral named the island that slowly emerged from the sea for the Holy Trinity, Trinidad. The little fleet of 3 ships sailed along the south coast of the island, anchoring briefly to let the men go ashore. The fleet then anchored again near a rock he called El Gallo, the cock, because it looked like a cockscomb. Suddenly, a tidal wave, like a hill as high as the ship, according to Columbus, threw the ships into the sky and then down until they could see the sea floor. He quickly departed what he called the Serpent's Mouth and headed north, attracted by the sight of distant mountains. Trinidad lay to the east.
084, checar, Trinidad.
The mountains to the west appeared to be yet another island. Columbus decided to drop sail and go ashore. But there was something strange here. The water was oddly fresh and shallow. To find a way around the island, Columbus sent one of his smaller ships ahead.
Right now, we are following the route of that caravel, which in effect discovered the mouths of the Orinoco, and therefore showed to Columbus and to the world that this was not a little island, it was a great continent with a big river.
Only a continent could produce such mighty rivers. Columbus had landed not on an island, but on the tip of South America. He was never to know the colossal size of the continent he'd found. Instead, he imagined the new continent to be something even greater still. There appeared to be 4 rivers draining this new land. And wasn't the Garden of Eden drained by 4 rivers? What's more, it seemed to Columbus that here both land and sea tilted upwards into the sky, as if the earth bulged towards heaven. To the mystical, medieval part of Columbus's mind, there could be only one explanation.
This, Columbus said, was the end of the East, the earthly paradise. And in a sense, he was right. The continent he had discovered was still innocent of the world Columbus represented. But now that the two had met, they would never be the same again.